Surviving alone on an alien planet, a human story. A human spaceship trembled violently as it entered the alien atmosphere. Its metal skin glowing red from the heat, Captain Alex Mercer gripped the control panel tightly. Sweat running down his face, his mind racing with calculations. The alarm screamed in the cabin, lights flashing in every direction. And he knew the ship would not survive the fall. Then came the crash. A deafening explosion as the spacecraft smashed into the ground, throwing Alex forward when he opened his eyes. The world was different. Strange and frightening, the sky was deep orange, with clouds swirling in unusual patterns, and two small suns hung in the distance. The ground beneath him was jagged and red, covered with sharp rocks and alien plants. Alex slowly lifted himself, feeling every ache and bruise. Realizing he was the only survivor, the wreckage of the spaceship smoldered behind him. Twisted metal sticking out like broken teeth, supplies scattered everywhere. Some still usable, some destroyed in the crash. Alex quickly checked his suit, his oxygen levels, and the emergency tools. Knowing he had to act fast, he had survived the fall. But surviving this alien planet would take more than luck. The first challenge was finding shelter. Alex moved carefully, scanning the horizon for any sign of safe ground. Strange shadows moved in the distance, too quick and fluid to be human. Every step was tense. Every sound made him alert. He found a small cave-like formation in the rocks and dragged himself inside. Setting up a makeshift camp, night fell quickly, and the alien sky glowed with strange lights. Alex lit a small fire, its heat comforting, but he knew it would attract attention. From the darkness, strange sounds echoed, a low growl, a rustle, and sometimes a high-pitched shriek. He could feel eyes watching him, creatures moving just beyond the light. His heart raced, but he forced himself to focus. Checking his limited supplies, food and water were scarce, and Alex knew he could not survive long without them. He rationed what little he had. Examining strange fruits and plants he found near the cave. Some were edible, some toxic, and every mistake could be deadly. Alex also checked the spaceship debris, hoping for tools or equipment that could help him adapt. He found a small energy pack, a damaged communicator, and a few repair tools, not much, but enough to keep trying. During the night, Alex could not sleep. He thought of Earth, of his family, of the humans who were counting on him. Memories of home mixed with fear, making him both sad and determined. The alien sounds outside the cave grew louder, and he realized survival was not just about physical strength. He needed intelligence, creativity, and courage, things humans had in abundance. By morning, Alex decided to explore his surroundings. He moved cautiously, testing the ground, observing plants, rocks, and unusual formations. The terrain was harsh, but he discovered a small stream with water, alien but drinkable. He filled his containers. Knowing this could save his life in the coming days, every discovery, small as it was, felt like a victory. Suddenly, a shadow passed overhead. Massive and silent, Alex froze, watching as a creature with wings and glowing eyes circled above. He felt fear, but also fascination, understanding that this planet was full of life, and not all of it was hostile. He observed carefully, noting the patterns of movement, the sounds, the way the creature hunted. He realized that studying these aliens could be the key to his survival. Back at the cave, Alex set traps and alarms using wires and small tools from the wreckage. He knew he could not face every danger head-on, and preparation was his best defense. He also began keeping a journal, writing down observations, sketches, and plans. Each entry reminded him that he was human, intelligent and adaptable, even alone. He could survive if he stayed smart and alert. As night returned, the alien sky lit up again. Strange auroras moving across the horizon. Alex sat by the fire, exhausted but alive, feeling both the weight of solitude and the thrill of survival. He knew tomorrow would bring new challenges, predators, harsh terrain, and the unknown, but he also knew he was a human, capable of courage, innovation, and resilience. And in that thought, he found hope, determination, and the will to fight for another day. The first day ended with tension, fear, and small victories. Alex fell asleep lightly, ready for the struggles ahead, knowing that surviving alone on this alien planet was only the beginning. The morning light broke over the jagged horizon, casting long shadows across the alien terrain. Alex woke with a start, his body stiff from the first day's struggle, but his mind sharp and alert. He surveyed the area around his cave, noticing unusual movements in the distance, shapes slipping between rocks and strange glowing plants. Every sense screamed caution, yet curiosity pulled him forward with careful steps. He moved toward a dense cluster of alien trees, their trunks glowing faintly in the morning light. Leaves rustled above, though there was no wind, and Alex's pulse quickened. He remembered the creature he saw last night circling overhead, and he knew this planet was full of life he could not yet understand. Every step could be dangerous. Every sound could signal a predator. Suddenly, he froze, spotting footprints unlike anything he had ever seen. They were large, with clawed toes, but spaced with intelligence. Not just animal instinct. Alex crouched low, following the trail with caution. The prints led to a clearing where the ground shimmered strangely. As if the soil itself had absorbed light, he felt a chill, realizing this place might be sacred or dangerous to the planet's inhabitants. Then he saw it, a creature unlike any human had ever imagined. It was massive, with smooth, reflective skin that shifted colors depending on the light, and eyes that glowed like molten gold. Alex's first instinct was fear, but he froze, sensing intelligence behind those eyes. The creature tilted its head, observing him carefully, moving slowly but deliberately. It did not attack, but neither did it retreat. Alex remembered his training: remain calm, show no threat, and study the unknown. He lowered his hands slowly, speaking softly. Though the alien could not understand, minutes stretched like hours, the tension almost unbearable. Then the creature moved closer, sniffing the air, circling him in slow, careful patterns. Alex noticed its subtle signals, small shifts in posture, sounds and movements that hinted at communication. He realized that this encounter could change everything. If he could gain the creature's trust, it might help him survive. If he failed, it could end his life in an instant. He decided to take a risk, offering some of the alien fruits he had tested yesterday. The creature studied the offering, sniffing carefully. Before accepting it with a delicate movement, Alex felt a surge of hope, knowing this small gesture was the start of something important. For the next hours, Alex observed the creature, learning its habits, its reactions, and its patterns. He named it Veyla in his mind, a reminder that he was not alone. Veyla followed him cautiously as he explored the nearby terrain, showing curiosity but also keeping a careful distance. Together, they discovered small pools of water, patches of edible plants, and hidden pathways between the jagged cliffs. Every step revealed new dangers, sudden drops, sharp rocks, and strange, whispering winds that carried unknown scents. As night approached, Alex and Veyla returned to the cave, the creature hesitating at the entrance before entering. The alien's presence was both comforting and tense, a reminder that trust must be earned. Alex prepared a small meal, sharing part with Veyla, and they sat silently by the fire, observing the alien sky above. Shimmering lights moved across the horizon, some natural, some perhaps sentient. Alex could not shake the feeling that he was being watched, not just by Veyla, but by unseen eyes in the distance. Suddenly, a distant roar echoed across the red plains. Shaking the ground beneath them, Alex and Veyla froze, knowing that a predator or rival creature had entered the area. The roar was followed by a series of high-pitched shrieks. Growing louder and closer, Alex instinctively grabbed his makeshift spear, while Veyla crouched low, ready to defend or flee. The tension was unbearable, every second stretching into eternity. The creatures appeared at the edge of the clearing, massive, multi-limbed predators. Their glowing eyes fixed on Alex and Veyla. Alex held his ground, remembering every survival lesson he had learned. Veyla hissed softly, a warning or a signal, and together they prepared for the confrontation. But the predators stopped short, observing rather than attacking. Alex realized that these creatures, too, were intelligent, testing him, measuring his reactions. It was a moment of suspense and revelation. The planet was alive with thinking beings, not just random threats. By the end of the night, the predators had disappeared, leaving Alex and Veyla alone once more. Alex reflected on the day's events, understanding that survival here meant more than avoiding death. It meant learning, adapting, and forming connections. Even with alien life, Veyla's trust became his lifeline, and he knew their bond was the key to understanding this dangerous world. He fell asleep lightly, alert to every sound, but filled with a cautious optimism. The first encounter had changed everything. Alex was no longer completely alone, and the alien planet felt less like a death trap and more like a challenge he was determined to meet. Tomorrow would bring new discoveries, new dangers, and new lessons, and Alex knew he had only begun to survive in a world that was alive, unpredictable, and astonishing. The next morning, Alex woke to the strange hum of the alien planet, a low vibration that seemed to come from the ground itself. Veyla watched him quietly, her golden eyes scanning the horizon, alert for danger. Alex felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. Today he would explore farther than before. Hoping to find something that could help him survive, he packed his few supplies, checked the energy pack, and motioned for Veyla to follow. They moved cautiously through the jagged cliffs, each step revealing new plants and rocks that glowed faintly. The air smelled metallic and sharp, like ozone after a storm. Alex noticed patterns in the terrain, unusual formations that seemed unnatural, as if something had built them. Finally, after hours of careful travel, they stumbled upon a massive structure partially buried in the red sands. The ruins were enormous, their walls towering above Alex. Etched with glowing symbols and strange markings, it was clear this civilization was far beyond anything humans had seen. Their technology advanced and mysterious. Alex's heart raced with a mix of awe and dread. Veyla stayed close, hissing softly at the unfamiliar shapes. Yet showing a hint of curiosity, Alex stepped forward, touching the wall lightly, and the symbols pulsed under his fingers. The light moved like water, forming patterns that seemed to tell a story he could not yet understand. A door-like structure slid open silently, revealing a hallway lined with more glowing symbols. He hesitated, knowing that stepping inside could be dangerous, but the need for knowledge and survival outweighed fear, and he entered cautiously. Inside, the air was cool and still, unlike the hot, windy desert outside. Strange devices lined the walls, some resembling consoles, others like energy crystals suspended in midair. Alex moved carefully, examining everything. Knowing that one wrong move could trigger a trap, he reached for a small console, and instantly a holographic map of the planet appeared before him. The image glowed with paths, settlements, and areas marked with unknown symbols. Alex felt a surge of hope. This map could lead him to food, water, and safety. He tried to understand the symbols. Making rough sketches in his journal, Veyla pawed at a glowing orb, and it floated into the air, spinning gently. Alex realized the aliens had mastered energy manipulation in ways humans had only dreamed of. Suddenly, the ground shook slightly. A warning tremor that made the symbols flicker. Alex froze, listening to the distant rumble. A low growl echoed through the hallway, and shadows shifted in unnatural ways. He realized he was not alone. Something or someone was moving within the ruins. Watching him, Veyla growled softly, her body tense, ready to protect or warn him. Alex pressed forward carefully, using the holographic map to guide him deeper into the ruins. The corridors twisted and turned, each passage revealing more wonders: glowing crystals, floating platforms, and strange machinery. He felt as if the walls themselves were alive, observing his every move. Then he entered a large chamber, the ceiling high and arched, covered in thousands of glowing symbols. At the center was a pedestal, with a crystal that radiated energy so bright it almost hurt his eyes. As he approached, the crystal pulsed rhythmically, like a heartbeat. Alex hesitated, knowing this could be a trap. He touched it lightly, and images flashed in his mind: cities, flying machines, and beings unlike anything human. The images showed a civilization that had thrived and then disappeared mysteriously. Alex realized these ruins held secrets that could explain the planet's strange creatures, Veyla's intelligence, and possibly the reason humans had come here. A sudden roar shook the chamber, and dust fell from the ceiling. Alex ducked, pulling Veyla close. Shadows moved at the edges of the room, massive shapes, fast and silent. He understood immediately. The planet was testing him, challenging his courage, intelligence, and instincts. He grabbed a small energy pack from his belt, aiming at the approaching shadows. Ready to defend himself, the creatures paused, as if curious, then retreated slowly, leaving Alex shaken but alive. He realized that surviving here was not just about strength or tools, but about understanding the environment, the life forms, and their intelligence. Veyla nuzzled him gently, reminding him that trust and companionship could be as powerful as weapons. By the time they exited the ruins, the alien suns were low on the horizon, casting long shadows over the jagged cliffs. Alex carried sketches, notes, and a small crystal fragment, proof that the ruins were real and valuable. He knew the discoveries today could change everything if he survived long enough to use them. That night, back at the cave, Alex studied the maps and symbols by the fire. Piecing together the puzzle, he understood that this planet had secrets humans might never fully grasp. A knowledge here could make him stronger than any predator. The first day inside the ruins had tested his courage, intelligence, and instincts. Alex realized he was no longer just a survivor. He was learning to thrive, but the planet still held many mysteries, dangerous predators, and challenges beyond imagination. Tomorrow promised new discoveries, new dangers, and perhaps new allies. And Alex knew that only by pushing forward could he hope to survive and understand the alien world he now called home. The days blurred into nights, and the alien planet revealed its true nature, unforgiving and full of dangers. Alex woke to the cold glow of the twin suns, muscles stiff, body aching, but his mind alert. Every morning brought new challenges: the harsh terrain, scarce food, and creatures that watched from shadows. He realized that surviving here meant constant vigilance, intelligence, and adaptation. Alex explored further from the cave, mapping the terrain in his journal. He discovered strange cliffs, deep canyons, and forests of glowing plants that whispered in the wind. Every area had predators, and Alex quickly learned their patterns. Observing without disturbing, he began setting traps and alarms with scraps from the ship, sharpened rocks, and energy tools. Even Veyla learned quickly, mimicking his caution and helping him detect dangers before they struck. One morning, Alex ventured into a narrow canyon searching for water. The walls were high, red, and jagged, casting deep shadows that hid unknown threats. He noticed movement, a predator, massive and fast, stalking him from above. Alex froze, holding his breath, knowing that one wrong step could mean death. He calculated his moves carefully, using the rocks for cover and leading the creature toward a trap he had set days before. The trap worked, catching the predator in a net of sharp wires and alien energy strands. Alex breathed a sigh of relief. But the encounter reminded him that the planet was relentless. It did not forgive mistakes, and he had to respect every life form to survive. Veyla purred softly, her instincts honed by every close call, a reminder that even allies here had to be careful. Days later, Alex faced another challenge, a storm unlike anything on Earth. The wind tore across the cliffs, carrying razor-sharp particles that cut the skin. Rain of glowing acid fell from the sky. Sizzling against the ground, he and Veyla huddled in the cave. Using debris and pieces of the ship to block the entrance, Alex feared for their safety, knowing that exposure could mean instant death. The storm raged for hours, testing his endurance, patience, and resourcefulness. When the storm passed, the landscape had changed. Rocks shifted, plants destroyed, and the water pools he had discovered were contaminated. Alex realized that the planet itself was a threat, constantly reshaping, always unpredictable. Survival was not just against creatures, but against the world itself. He gathered what remained, rationing supplies carefully, knowing that one mistake could end everything. Isolation weighed heavily on him. Nights were long and quiet, with only the alien sky and strange lights for company. Memories of Earth haunted him, his family, friends, and a world that now felt like a dream. Loneliness became a test of mental strength, and Alex understood that despair could be as deadly as a predator. He wrote in his journal, sketching, planning, and speaking aloud to remind himself that he was human. His intelligence, creativity, and perseverance were his greatest weapons. Then came the night when danger found him unexpectedly. While hunting for food, he stumbled into a nest of enormous predators, creatures with claws, teeth, and glowing eyes. They surrounded him quickly, moving with terrifying speed and coordination. Alex knew he could not outrun them. He relied on his traps, creating a diversion with sharp rocks and energy devices. Veyla leaped into action, hissing, scratching, and drawing attention, giving Alex a chance to escape. The battle was tense, every second a life or death decision. Alex barely managed to climb a jagged cliff. Pulling Veyla with him, the predators circled below, waiting for a mistake, but eventually retreated. Alex and Veyla rested at the top, hearts racing, clothes torn, and bodies bruised. It was a stark reminder. Intelligence, courage, and teamwork were the keys to survival here. Over the following days, Alex adapted further, learning to anticipate the planet's hazards. He discovered hidden caves, safe water sources, and edible plants he had previously overlooked. He began building better shelters, refining traps, and improving communication with Veyla. The alien planet was no longer just a place of fear. It became a challenge he could meet. Every day, every struggle made him stronger, smarter, and more resilient. By the end of the week, Alex understood something vital. Survival here was not about avoiding danger. It was about understanding the planet, its creatures, and its rules. He realized he was no longer just a human lost on an alien world. He was learning to thrive, using human intelligence, courage, and ingenuity against impossible odds. The isolation, the storms, the predators, all had shaped him, tested him, and made him more than just a survivor. That night, as the alien moons rose, Alex sat at the edge of a cliff, Veyla curled beside him, her eyes reflecting the stars. He looked at the vast, dangerous world below and felt something he had not expected. Hope. He knew tomorrow would bring new threats, new challenges, and perhaps new discoveries. And he understood clearly, the planet might be dangerous, But humanity's spirit, courage, and determination were stronger. The fourth part of his journey ended with exhaustion, triumph, and reflection. Alex had survived, adapted, and learned. But the alien planet still held secrets, mysteries, and dangers beyond imagination. And he was ready to face them all, because he was human. And humans survived when others would not. The alien suns were low in the sky, casting long, eerie shadows across the jagged landscape. Alex moved cautiously through the rocky plains. Veyla close at his side, ears twitching at every sound. Days of solitude had made him alert to even the smallest movement. He knew the planet held more secrets than he could imagine. And every step forward was a gamble. Suddenly, Alex noticed a flicker of movement in the distance. Unlike any predator he had seen, it was smaller, humanoid in shape. But its skin shimmered like liquid silver. Reflecting the alien sky, the being crouched behind rocks. Watching him with intense curiosity, Alex froze, unsure whether it was friend or foe. He remembered the lessons of survival. Approach slowly, show no threat, and observe. Veyla growled softly. A warning, yet did not attack. The alien being took a cautious step forward, its glowing eyes studying Alex carefully. Alex held out a hand, offering some of the rations he had carefully gathered. The being hesitated, then accepted with delicate movements. Almost as if it understood trust, Alex felt a surge of hope. Perhaps he was no longer completely alone. Over the next hours, Alex and the being, whom he began calling Lyra in his mind, began a cautious partnership. Lyra communicated through gestures and sounds, teaching Alex subtle signs of danger and hidden resources. Together, they discovered pools of fresh water hidden under alien vines. They identified edible plants that Alex had overlooked. Lyra even showed him how to avoid predator trails and recognize subtle changes in the wind that indicated threats. But trust was not easily earned, and Alex had to prove himself. One night, while hunting for food, a massive predator appeared from the shadows. Alex froze, heart pounding, but Lyra moved with precision, signaling Alex to stay calm. Using his traps and quick thinking, Alex managed to distract the predator. Lyra leapt with agility and strength, striking with energy tools Alex had never seen before. Together, they drove the predator away, an unspoken bond forming between human and alien. The following days were a mix of discovery, learning, and danger. Lyra guided Alex to hidden caves, where strange crystals emitted energy. These crystals could power devices and perhaps even aid in survival. Alex experimented carefully, learning how to manipulate them for light, warmth, and defense. Every day, the alien planet revealed more secrets, and Alex felt a growing respect for its life forms. Yet danger was never far. One evening, while returning to the cave, Alex and Lyra were ambushed by a group of predators. Larger and more cunning than before, Alex realized they were being watched. Stalked, tested, Veyla hissed. Lyra emitted a high-pitched signal. And Alex knew this was a life-or-death situation. Using quick strategy, traps, and the energy crystals, they created a diversion. Predators chased shadows, giving Alex, Lyra, and Veyla a chance to escape, exhausted but alive. Alex realized the true value of companionship. He understood that survival here was no longer about human strength alone. It was about intelligence, adaptability, and trust between allies, even across species. Lyra's guidance and instincts complemented Alex's knowledge and courage. Together, they became more than survivors. They were a team, capable of facing threats that would have killed Alex alone. As night fell, Alex sat at the edge of a cliff, looking out at the alien horizon, Lyra beside him, her skin shimmering softly under the twin moons, Veyla resting between them, alert to the sounds of the planet. Alex reflected on the journey so far, the crash, the solitude, the constant threats. He realized that he had not only survived, but was beginning to thrive. The bond with Lyra gave him hope, purpose, and a new understanding of what it meant to live in this strange world. But the planet still held mysteries beyond comprehension. Structures hidden in the mountains, glowing ruins buried under sand, and unknown predators lurking in shadows. Alex knew that tomorrow would bring new challenges, perhaps even more dangerous than today. Yet he felt ready, stronger, wiser, and not alone. The first real alliance in this alien world had been formed, and it could change everything. That night, as the alien moons rose high, Alex, Lyra, and Veyla sat silently, watching the glowing horizon, listening to the whispers of the planet. Alex felt something rare in the midst of danger. Hope. Hope that humanity could adapt, survive, and perhaps even master this alien world. And as he drifted into a cautious sleep, he knew the journey ahead would test them all in ways they could not yet imagine. The fifth part ended with suspense, alliance, and growth. Alex was no longer just a lone survivor. He had allies, knowledge, and determination. Yet the alien planet held secrets and dangers that would challenge every skill he possessed. And the adventure was far from over. The alien suns hung low in the sky, painting the landscape in red and gold. Alex, Lyra, and Veyla moved cautiously across jagged cliffs toward a hidden valley Alex had spotted on the holographic map. The valley was covered with dense, glowing vegetation, and strange hums seemed to echo from beneath the ground. Alex felt both awe and unease. This place was unlike anything they had seen before. Every step was tense, the air thick with the unknown. As they approached the center of the valley, Alex noticed structures half buried in the glowing soil. The buildings were sleek, metallic, and clearly designed with intelligence far beyond human understanding. He recognized familiar symbols etched on the walls, the same symbols from the ancient ruins he had explored weeks ago. His heart raced, a mix of excitement and dread. What was this place, and why had it been abandoned for so long? Carefully, they entered one of the larger structures, the doors sliding open silently as if welcoming them. Inside, Alex discovered something shocking. Human technology, long forgotten and covered in alien dust. Screens flickered to life, revealing logs, messages, and records left by previous human explorers. Alex's hands shook as he accessed the files, realizing that humans had been sent to this planet decades ago. They had tried to survive, some failing, some adapting, but all leaving behind clues, warnings, and secrets. A holographic image appeared, showing a human scientist explaining the purpose of the planet. Alex watched in disbelief as the scientist spoke of an experiment. The planet had been monitored for centuries, its ecosystem designed to test survival, intelligence, and adaptability. Humans had been sent here not just to explore, but to see if they could thrive under extreme conditions. Alex felt a surge of anger and fear. He was not just stranded. He was part of a grand experiment, Lyra hissed softly, alerting Alex to movement behind the shadows. Unknown observers, invisible but clearly monitoring the structure, were still present. Alex realized they were not alone in uncovering these secrets, and every action they took could be watched. He needed to act carefully, combining human ingenuity and Lyra's alien instincts. They explored deeper into the facility, discovering laboratories, energy cores, and strange devices that could manipulate the environment. Alex studied the technology, realizing it could be used for survival, defense, and perhaps even communication with Earth. Lyra guided him to a central chamber where the largest device hummed with energy. The room pulsed with a strange light, and Alex felt a powerful force emanating from the core. He knew this was the heart of the experiment, the source of the planet's intelligence. Suddenly, alarms blared, red lights flashing across the chamber. Alex and Lyra froze as panels opened, revealing automated defense mechanisms. Robotic sentries moved swiftly, scanning for threats. Their metallic forms glinting under the alien light, Alex quickly analyzed their patterns. Realizing the machines were programmed to test intruders rather than immediately attack, he directed Lyra to trigger an energy shield using the alien crystals they had collected. The shield protected them just as the sentries closed in, breathing heavily. Alex realized the truth. The planet itself was alive, observing, learning, and adapting every predator, every storm. Every challenge had been part of a vast experiment. He was not just surviving. He was being tested, measured, and evaluated. Yet he also realized something amazing. Humans were capable of adapting in ways even the planet could not predict. Alex used the technology in the chamber to send a signal toward the skies, hoping someone, somewhere, might receive it. The devices responded to his commands, showing images of human colonies, alien landscapes, and potential escape routes. He felt a surge of hope, but also understood the responsibility. Knowledge of the planet's secrets came with danger. Any wrong move could trigger defenses, alert unknown observers, or unleash predators. He and Lyra worked quickly, mapping the chamber, taking crystal samples, and recording every detail. As night fell, Alex stepped outside, looking at the glowing valley and the distant alien suns. He realized the truth of the planet. It was not just a place of survival, but a crucible for human ingenuity, courage, and resilience. The experiments had tested humans for centuries. Yet here he was, thriving against impossible odds. He understood that the journey was not just about escape, but mastery, understanding the planet, forming alliances, and preparing for challenges yet to come. Veyla nuzzled him gently, Lyra beside him, both reminding him of trust, companionship, and the strength that came from bonds. Alex knew tomorrow would bring even greater tests, perhaps threats beyond imagination. But he also knew he had uncovered the truth. Humans were being observed, tested, and challenged. Yet humans could rise, adapt, and overcome in ways the planet never expected. The sixth part ended with revelation, suspense, and rising tension. Alex had uncovered the truth about the alien planet, the human experiment, and the danger still ahead. But the ultimate test had not yet come, and survival would demand courage, intelligence, and bold action. Tomorrow promised choices that could determine not just his fate, but the fate of humanity on this alien world. The alien suns dipped low, painting the jagged cliffs in fiery red and gold. Alex stood at the edge of the valley, Veyla at his side, and Lyra observing cautiously. The secrets he had uncovered weighed heavily on him, the truth of the planet, the human experiment, and the unknown observers still watching. He knew the final choice lay ahead: escape this alien world or master its secrets to ensure humanity's survival. Alex moved toward the central chamber they had discovered. The air thick with tension, energy pulsed from the core, casting shadows that danced across the walls. The automated sentries were silent for now, but he knew they could activate at any moment. Every step required precision, strategy, and courage. He activated the energy crystals. Channeling their power into the chamber systems, lights flickered. Holograms of human colonies and escape routes illuminated the room. Alex's mind raced. Calculating the risks, using the alien technology, could give him freedom. But it could also awaken unknown observers, trigger the planet's defenses, or alert predators. Lyra watched him carefully, signaling which systems could be safely manipulated. Veyla growled softly, sensing danger, her instincts sharper than any sensor. Suddenly, the ground trembled violently. a massive roar echoing through the chamber. Predators, larger than anything Alex had faced, stormed the room, moving with intelligence and precision. The automated sentries activated, beams of energy scanning. Alex realized he had only one chance: speed. Courage and human ingenuity had to guide him. He activated a diversion, sending holographic duplicates of himself and Lyra across the room. The predators and sentries reacted. Giving Alex just enough time to move toward the core, he reached the control pedestal. Hands shaking but steady, he entered commands. The chamber humming with energy, the walls glowed brighter, and the planet seemed to respond, almost alive. A portal of energy opened before him, a possible escape route to human space. But beyond the portal, the unknown waited: hazards, predators, and perhaps the observers who had monitored humanity for centuries. Alex paused, realizing mastery of the planet might be the safer choice. If he understood its systems, tamed its energy, and formed alliances with its creatures, he could ensure survival, not just for himself, but for all humans who might come here. Yet the instinct to return home, to Earth and familiar skies, tugged at his heart. He glanced at Lyra and Veyla, allies who had helped him survive. Their trust and strength reminded him that choice was not just about escape, but about leadership, courage, and responsibility. With a deep breath, Alex made his decision, combining both options. He would harness the planet's power to secure survival while creating a path to return home. He activated the systems carefully. Using knowledge gained from the ruins, energy pulsed around him, illuminating the chamber and the valley outside. Predators backed away, sensing his control. The planet itself seemed to acknowledge his intelligence and courage. The portal shimmered, stable now. A bridge between worlds. Alex stepped forward, Lyra and Veyla by his side. The unknown stretched before them. But he felt confidence. Humanity's ingenuity and courage had triumphed. As they crossed, flashes of the alien landscape lingered in Alex's mind. The trials, dangers, and mysteries of the planet had shaped him. He was no longer just a survivor, but a master of knowledge. Courage and adaptability on the other side. Stars stretched endlessly, human ships visible in the distance. Alex transmitted coordinates and messages, ensuring that others could one day follow and thrive. He glanced back at the alien planet, its secrets still vast and untamed. A sense of accomplishment filled him, knowing humanity had faced an impossible challenge and overcome it. Lyra chirped softly, Veyla nuzzled him, and Alex smiled. Trust, courage, and intelligence had carried them through. The journey was far from over, but the hardest trials were behind them. Alex knew that humans could survive anywhere, adapt to any challenge, and thrive where others would fail. The alien planet, once a prison, had become a testament to human ingenuity. And as the stars carried them home, Alex felt the truth of humanity's spirit, indomitable. Intelligent and unbreakable, the final part ended with triumph. Suspense and resolution, Alex had survived, learned, and mastered the alien world. He had allies, knowledge, and courage to guide humanity in the future. And the adventure, though concluded, left the promise of new challenges, discoveries, and the enduring human spirit